This is Twit.
On some level, I feel like this crazy thing about my being the bad boy of Jeopardy because people didn't like how I looked on the show, that did play a big role in people feeling like there was something to connect to. You know, I wasn't just a guy who won on Jeopardy. There was already some kind of personality in my brand, if you want to call it that. And everything else has kind of grown from there.
Well, let's talk about that. I mean, what was the process like to actually get onto Jeopardy? Do you feel like there was some behind the scenes, casting, if you will?
To a minimal degree. I mean, I think you can tell that they're trying to show, at the very least, like a diverse array of, backgrounds, people of different races, gender balance. Beyond that, though, the casting is really just sort of a minimal, like, can you present yourself on TV in a minimal way? It is nothing at all like an actual reality show. They don't put you through an extensive interview. They don't make you do a pitch tape or anything, because there's just so many contestants. And on some level, that's why I like Jeopardy, because it's a very old school show. It's just like random people who wanted to be on a game show with very little production behind it,
Were you prepared for what would potentially happen to your personal brand? I mean, was that something that you could see, or is that something that surprised you in any way?
I really, the direction that it took, the whole like Jeopardy villain thing, was a surprise to me. It was a surprise that it got big in the first place. I knew I would get some exposure, and I think, like a lot of people, I wanted to be on TV, so that's why I signed up for Jeopardy. But the degree to which my story kind of became this narrative and people started projecting all these things onto it, that kind of surprised me. I was just, trying to ride the wave when it first started breaking.
It's funny that you got criticized for the strategy that you took, but when the computer won, right, and it was all strategy, nobody criticized the computer. But yet, as a human, we tend to attack people that we think aren't behaving well. Has that been a positive for you and your brand, or are you benefiting from that in any sort of way?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know how viral it is outside of a certain sphere, but this latest boost of attention that I got was for an article I wrote for the Daily Beast. About it was a social criticism kind of article, and I think people were willing to give me a chance and say, like, this guy blogs about the media, about social issues, because there was a sense it's just not like this guy's a smart guy because he's been on Jeopardy, but that I was very outspoken during that initial media blitz. And it was like, this guy's a contrarian. This guy stands up for himself. This guy defends his views. And that image, I think, was more key to, people taking me seriously as a media figure outside of just like the Jeopardy world.
Do you have a plan, if you will, a marketing strategy for yourself now that you have this brand? And when you look at that, do you say, oh, okay, I have this reputation as being a bad boy or for standing up for myself. Here are the ways I think I can exploit that. Or I am known. My face is recognizable. My voice is recognizable. I should build a YouTube following because there's an audience of people who want to see me on video. Is there a thought process that you have gone through and codified in some way that that you're now sort of executing against?
To some extent, I mean, I'm just one guy, and people asked me, hey, are you going to hire a publicist? And there were people who came forward with offers, but I was like, no one who is telling me things that I really feel are authentic to who I am, that I'd be comfortable with. Good ideas, but not things that felt like they were me, and things that also I would have to like pay people a lot of money to execute. So I'm still I'm reluctant to. I've been online just as a regular guy for a long time, and I'm reluctant to transform my image, beyond just like expanding my platform, but to transform it based on a marketing plan. I think to some degree, this like contrarian or bad boy image, it's just because I genuinely try to be sincere about who I am online. And like this recent, like my Twitter followers were dwindling and dwindling, and they suddenly jumped up again because of this Daily Beast article. And the Daily Beast article was not something that people would have associated with me before. No one said, oh, this Jeopardy guy is also an outspoken feminist, but that happened. So there is a plan of sorts. I mean, I am reaching towards certain specific goals. I'm working on a book. I sort of announced that a while ago, but I'll announce it again. I'm working on a book. I'm, writing articles and trying to pitch ideas for different blog things, but I'm still trying to, keep it loose right now because I don't want to box myself in. There's a lot of different facets to who I am. There's a lot of different facets to who everyone is. And unlike someone who I think, went viral because of one big thing that had a lot of legs, the Jeopardy thing doesn't have a lot of legs. I think people still are still waiting to possibly see who I am besides a guy who knows a lot of trivia,